Hey people, it is Monday, July the 1st, which is Canada Day here in Canada. So happy Canada Day, Canada's birthday, to all Canadians or Canadian identifying people. And it is about 4:41 in the afternoon and around 23 Celsius. Feeling a little warmer with a very slight humidex. And I'm on Bay Street looking south towards an impressive cluster of buildings in the Bloor-Yorkville neighborhood. And I'm going to make my way along Davenport. I'm actually at where Davenport Road begins, branching off of Bay Street, I should have said. So this is actually Davenport Road. I'll be making my way along Davenport over to Hazelton, which is a beautiful residential street in the Yorkville neighborhood, and I'll head south through Yorkville and continue on southward all the way down to College Park, where there will be a hopefully open Metro grocery store. Most things are closed today, but there are exceptions along Yonge Street, which is considered a tourist area, so stores normally that would be closed are open on this statutory holiday if they're located on downtown Yonge. And I do need to go to a grocery store, so it looks like College Park is my only option. And as I begin to make my way south, I'm going to walk along a Stralley that I've mentioned in some previous videos. It's part road, part street, part alley. It's a very pleasant walk. I'll be foregoing the usual Yonge Street or Bay Street this time. It's kind of on the northern edge of downtown here. The northern edge of the Bloor-Yorkville neighborhood. I wasn't sure if I would get out today on Canada Day. I spent quite a lot of time yesterday out and about. But the weather's nice. And I decided to pick up those items rather than waiting until tomorrow. So all in all, just an excuse to make a video on Canada Day, I guess. The city always has a bit of a different feel on stat holidays. Obviously much quieter. And a bit of a hangover, I think, after the big Pride parade yesterday and the end of the Pride Month festivities. So here's where Hazelton Avenue begins. Some lovely residential buildings. But most of the street is lined with 19th century townhomes. And some beautiful shade with all these trees. Yeah, I guess this is a newer addition to the neighborhood, but it fits in nicely. This one looks more like a small cottage-style house. These are my favorite sort of houses here. Nice old row houses or townhouses. You can tell these homes are very well taken care of. And as we move further south, the street will start to take on more of a commercial character. That one has quite the bright red door. Isn't there a song about a red door? Or is that a green door?
Okay, it was the winter, but the
Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. That's good. The fact that's going to give me some.
If you haven't read it in many years, it's a document
that we're going out loud to be hosted on the server.
And here's where things start to take on more of a commercial nature. Many of the homes here have been converted into art galleries or boutiques. Getting close to the heart of the Bloor-Yorkville neighborhood. You can see towers in the distance. This one stands out. Just the fact that it's not brick. And I think this one used to be brick, but now it's covered with stucco, which is one of my least favorite things. Of galleries here side by side, and a walkway to the Yorkville Village shopping mall, a small, very upscale shopping center. It's most likely closed, although I do see people walking towards it, so maybe it is open today. Maybe it's considered part of the tourist exemption, allowing it to open on a stat holiday. This is the place to go if you want to see fancy cars, which isn't really something I'm terribly impressed by, but I know some people are. And here's the Hazelton Hotel. It's a 5-star hotel. Many celebrities stay there when they're in the city. This entire neighborhood is popular with celebrities, actually. For obvious reasons, I guess. There's another even fancier car. And here's Yorkville Avenue. This is the main street of the Yorkville neighborhood. Thinking maybe I'll head over to Schollard Street. Did I say Schollard? I didn't mean to say Schollard. We'll know when we get there what street I meant. Pretty lively here on this Canada Day.
Your office patio is actually great. Why don't we do it?
We go Bel Air Street. That's the street I meant to say. For some reason, it was not coming to me. And Bel Air Street is all closed off with these patios. Every time I walk through this neighborhood, I always say I think all the streets should be closed off in that fashion, made to a pedestrian-only zone, but who knows if that'll ever happen. I guess they couldn't take away the opportunity for the people to cruise around in their supercars. Then where would they go? They'd have to go to King Street West, I think, on a Friday or Saturday night.
Where were you staying?
वाली बिल्डिंग में
And here is Cumberland Street, the other main drag of the Yorkville neighborhood.
My sister
Yeah.
was there. My sister came. Oh, this is the view.
We're just chilling out, enjoying the day. This is obviously a day off for a lot of people who would normally have to work. Although I guess by this time of day they'd mostly be done work anyway, but you get the idea. I'm sure it's been pretty lively here for most of the day. And I'm going to head through this walkway over to Bloor Street.
The tripod.
And some very welcome shade here. So here is Bloor Street, in the heart of the Mink Mile. I'm going to make my way over to St. Thomas Street, I think. I guess I'll cross at the proper crosswalk here. The luxury designer brands have their stores mostly along Bloor Street here, as well as in the Yorkville neighborhood that we just walked through. The business improvement area does combine the two areas as the Bloor-Yorkville BIA. I think this former Pottery Barn store, which used to be a movie theater before that, has finally been leased after years of sitting vacant. It's nice to see that large space finally get filled up with something. All right, now here is St. Thomas Street. This is one of my favorite little streets in the neighborhood. It's not very long, but it makes up for its lack of length with lots of charm. Old Windsor Arms. Nice combination of old and new there. I actually like this little pocket more than the Yorkville neighborhood itself. It's obviously much more just residential, not much of a commercial element here. nice breeze and some shade, although that will be coming to an end momentarily. The shade at least, maybe the breeze will stay. I guess I can stay in the shade on this side. So that was it, St. Thomas Street. And now this is Charles Street.
An active nuisance.
Approaching Bay Street. Just walk for another block or so to the east, and then I'll start making my way south along that Stralley. Looks like I'm about to be thrust back out into the sunlight. Got some work underway here in front of the Manulife Center. Looks like they're making a new improved entranceway. And ugh. My inner vampire is not enjoying this part at all. Kind of a cool shot looking towards that new tower, which is, I think, getting close to topping out. And here's St. Nicholas Street, which is the beginning of the Stralley, although this is a street here. There are parts of it as we continue along where the name changes and it looks more like an alley than a street. And I think it'll provide me with some shade also. And this will be a straight shot south down to College Street, where the Metro store is. The Metro closes at 6, so I have plenty of time. Normally it would be open till 10, but given it's a stat holiday today, the hours are reduced. I'm just glad it's open at all. And this is an interesting mix of some old 19th century townhomes, some 1960s slab apartment buildings, 1960s and 70s office buildings, and 1990s through present day residential buildings, all sort of strung together or plopped down beside one another in a somewhat eclectic fashion, but I think it sort of works. That kind of describes Toronto as a whole, really, at least the downtown area. I've never noticed this one is called Oak Cottage, and next door is Elm Cottage. And you can see the street here is some bricks. This is called Ash Cottage and Ivy Cottage. I think they all have names. Maple Cottage, Rose Cottage, Hazel Cottage. Strange, I never noticed this before. Not that it's terribly exciting or anything, but Spruce Cottage, Birch Cottage, and Beech Cottage. I guess that about covers it. Those are the backs of buildings fronting onto Yonge Street. There's a little alleyway there that I've walked through in a previous video. And here is Irwin Avenue. Lovely little side street. And you can see suddenly the street doesn't look like a street here, it looks more like an alley. That's one of the nicest looking fire escapes I've seen. And St. Joseph Street, another very charming side street. There's Yonge Street right over there. And some great townhomes. And St. Nicholas Street continues, but once again, still looks more like an alley. I guess this is closed for the holiday. Barvolo. And you used to be able to walk right through here, but due to construction, I have to take a bit of a detour. This new tower has temporarily blocked off that part of the Stralley. It's just a short detour over here. There's a walkway. I don't have to go all the way over to Bay Street. Some neat views from here. You can see the One rising. And my detour over to Wellesley Street. Cross here while there's no traffic coming. That under construction building from the other side. And you can see where the Stralley used to go. So eventually that will open back up. And then from there you would just walk across the street. And then St. Luke Lane begins right here. Continue on south. Doesn't really look like a street though. I guess lane sums it up quite well, or alley. Or just use my term, Stralley. I figure if I keep saying the word Stralley enough times, maybe it'll eventually catch on. We do have some cars that use this. And out into the sun again. The Dr. Lillian McGregor Park, one of the newest parks downtown. And St. Luke Lane continues. Not a very pretty sight here. Crossing Grosvenor Street. And here's the last leg of the Stralley. An awesome view of the Aura condominium due south, towering above the College Park building. And the view looking the other way isn't too shabby either. Trying to get that glare of the sun. And here's Grenville Street. And we're about to come to the end of the Stralley. We emerge onto College Street. There's the College Park building. The Metro grocery store is inside there. I always enjoy the walk through there. Maybe I'll head over to the corner and across there. And a little taste of Yonge Street. Yonge Street is fairly lively, but as I mentioned earlier, most things are open along Yonge Street. So it's definitely the busiest street downtown on a holiday. And it's usually the busiest street downtown on a non-holiday as well. And welcome to College Park, small shopping mall, and the Metro is down on a lower level. So I'm going to start to wrap up this walk here as I make my way to the grocery store. I hope you enjoyed the Canada Day walk on a beautiful sunny day. And we checked out some parts of the Bloor-Yorkville neighborhood. And then made our way south down the Stralley, as I like to call it. It's strange how they have the food court all completely closed off like this now. I guess all these places are not open today, but the metro definitely is. So as I was saying, leave a comment down below, let me know your thoughts. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and also make sure you hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any of my videos. If you'd like to support the channel, there are links in the description where you can do so via PayPal, as well as via my merch store. Or you can also support the channel by becoming a channel member, or by sending a super thanks if you prefer. And you can find me on Instagram also under KContinuum. So thanks for watching, and thanks to all the channel members. And be sure to keep checking back, because, as always, I will continue.